The Iraqi Prime Minister promised the battle would be over in 3 weeks. But in the northern suburbs of Mosul, for the past 7 months, Islamic State group fighters have hung on. These wounded and exhausted Iraqi soldiers still have to oversee the constant flow of fleeing civilians.
What happened? So it's what time they shoot him this morning?
طلعت على الجيش اقول له تعال خذني ابني مات ما رد علي ما رد علي الجيش ما رد علي
ينزف الامان
ما عاوني حتى ينقذ ابني موتنا جوعنا عطشنا دمرنا دواعش سرطان خلي العالم كله يسمع داعش سرطان ابو بكر البغدادي سرطان
Dad, be careful. Don't get run over by the vehicle.
Here, there is no humanitarian aid, no NGOs.
You're going to get on these buses over there.
Only a group of foreign volunteers acting as first aid workers.
Every day is like this. For the last 5 days, every day like this. About 10,000 people come through, more than 100 shot.
David Eubank is a former US soldier turned Christian preacher. With his paramilitary group, the Free Burma Rangers, he provides medical assistance.
We came here because of love and because we're invited to come. 3 years ago when ISIS attacked, people said, Free Burma Rangers should come and help. So we're very small, but we feel God wanted us to come.
They're facing an enemy that's dug in and a humanitarian crisis that grows worse every day. Without help, the Iraqis could not win this fight. Help arrives thanks to several Western nations that have decided to engage the common enemy, along with the Iraqi army. 20 kilometers from the front, these French troops provide valuable support for the coalition. For almost a year, non-stop shelling has targeted the jihadist groups.
Overall, we know that the Iraqis need our support. If they have our support, they will be confident and calm when they engage. They know they'll win the battle. We are a real help and insurance. We are their life insurance.
Received, Chief Warrant Officer. Third shot, 492. 492. Fourth shot, 490. 490. Fifth shot.
Fire!
Harass the Islamic State group day and night. That's the coalition's strategy.
We know that we face an enemy who is merciless, who doesn't respect the rules of combat, and who, on the contrary, in its communications strategy, will try to get us to shoot civilians. This is our constant fear.
Inflicting enemy casualties requires the troops to rely on Iraqi intelligence whilst trying to spare civilian lives.
99% of the firing is requested by Iraqi forces who've been in contact with the enemy. We are here to help them, but not to fight the war in their place.
The French unit never approaches the front lines. Designating targets is the work of Iraqi observers. During the night, French shells have landed here away from the dwellings. In military lingo, it's called an artillery barrage, the action aimed at preventing the opponents from moving.
Okay, got it.
The direction of your shooting was good, but next time you have to lengthen the strike by 200 meters. It will be much more precise. Got it?
Perched up high, the Iraqi officer has a good overview of the battlefield.
I know the enemy's position given to us by our observers from the front. Then I communicate that to an Air Force officer. He checks it and gives the order to strike within 5 to 10 minutes. Operator Zaid, are you receiving me?
Yes, copy that.
Back from the front with the 9th Division, this officer is the link between the observers at the front and the helicopter pilots.
We've located a house occupied by ISIS fighters. I'm sending the coordinates.
Send.
On the one hand, he receives information from the field. On the other, he transmits it to the device that controls the location of the shelling.
Ihab, tell helicopter M135 to strike. Our troops are very close to the objective. I repeat, our troops are very close.
At this moment, a simple transcription error could be fatal.
Careful, 193.
To reduce the margin of error, the information is cross-checked by observation drones. And here again are members of the coalition. Unusually, some of these US soldiers have agreed to show their faces.
Donnie, you gotta get a picture in here, let's go.
Since 2003, there's been a constant contingent of American troops in Iraq. But now, like the French soldiers, they only operate in support of the Iraqi army and never on the front lines.
Every bomb that I do, I have an Iraqi with me. He's looking at the strike that I'm doing, and he approves it. This is extremely important for me as well, because I understand that they now have a responsibility with everything that is done out there. It's not just coalition striking to strike. It is Iraqi, supported by the coalition, and they are deciding how we do this, how do we fight, what is the best way, what's the best approach.
In short, the Iraqis remain the masters of the game. In order to retake ground from the Islamic State group, airstrikes aren't enough. The hard work and the losses fall to the infantry.
We can hear the airstrikes. They're all close because we're on the front line.
A trip to the front line. The army has just seized this street. Whilst this soldier is recounting the fight, a rain of rockets falls down on the neighborhood. There's confusion among the soldiers who don't know where to turn.
Come back, Abu Shab, come back.
It's the helicopter. It's not a strike from one of ours, is it?
I didn't ask you anything.
The officer is uneasy. And when we ask him about what happened,
Tell them it's a hit from our helicopters.
Chief, it was not really far from us there.
Yes, I know, it was really close.
very close. These soldiers were very lucky.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
A little further on, a whole group of Iraqi soldiers were struck by their own helicopters. Some have been killed, and many are wounded.
I'm okay. Look after Hassan. Check on Hassan.
Hassan is hurt the worst. A rocket fell very close to him. The shockwave caused irreversible damage. Faced with a wave of injured, the Iraqi military has little choice but to allow the Free Burma Rangers to assist. For this soldier, it's too late.
Another wounded! Hey, draw! Get it off!
David Eubank's men are now indispensable.
Don't move, it's nothing.
And while soldier Hassan is evacuated, with little hope, the Free Burma Rangers capture a prisoner. The scene plays out under the eyes of stone-faced Iraqi officers.
You know them?
No, I don't know them.
Take a closer look.
No, I told you I don't know them.
So we killed a bunch of your buddies today, huh?
Yes, you missed a lot of them also.
Shut up, turn around.
Turn around.
Are you with ISIS or not?
No, I'm not.
There's no doubt. Look at the mark left by the gun strap.
So far, no organisation can track what happens to the prisoners. Back at the unit, no one mentions the incident. The Americans are unaware of the friendly fire that struck their allies. It's time now to relax and display the trophies taken from the enemy during the day. Anti-tank rockets, artillery, a suicide bomber's vest and equipment. And these homemade rocket launchers, put together by jihadists in Mosul's underground tunnels.
We feel that ISIS is having some hard times maintaining a defense when we are attacking from multiple directions, so it's going very, very well.
The day is done for the Americans, who return to their quarters for the night. But for the Iraqis, they have one last trophy to show, a human one. Once again, international law won't be much good to the prisoner.
I swear to you, sir, it only lasted 20 days, only 20 days.
Our cameras no longer welcome. It seems what happens between Iraqis remains between Iraqis. For the French soldiers, it's back to work. It's a 24-hour day for the soldiers, whose cycle is punctuated by periods of intense activity, rest, and downtime. But they're always ready to hit their targets at a moment's notice. In the labyrinth of air-conditioned tents, this officer guides us to his sleeping quarters and uses the opportunity to make a final point. After 5 months, the artillerymen will be relieved of duty by other French soldiers, and they, in turn, will have to find their own meaning in the mission.
For what has happened, the events that took place in France, we are here to help the Iraqi forces against the enemy that we all know. So yes, I think it makes sense in that case.
It's difficult to evaluate the real impact of France on the Iraqi landscape. But one thing is certain. Without the support of the coalition, Mosul would remain in the control of the Islamic State organization for a long time.